but the new description of the notes is immigration. Remember, it's not important to write down what I say, though it is important to write down what is on the notes. Do keep in mind there will be a quiz, and it's important to not just write down what is spoken or write down what is on the PowerPoint, but to also be aware of what is spoken. The immigration to the United States in the last few decades has been mostly or half undocumented, unauthorized immigration. But in the past, 100 years ago, immigration was predominantly legal when America was accepting a lot more immigrants. As you can see from this graph, we're still accepting the same amount of immigrants as 100 years ago. We have gone through some different trends there, but still, America is a great place that is accepting a lot of immigrants. As you can see right here, this map shows the different areas of immigration and migration in America, different ethnicities, kind of neat to see there. Throughout the Midwest, a lot of German, as we spoke about in previous units, a lot of Hispanic in the Southwest, still a lot of African American in the Deep South. So really interesting to see here. The Italian and Irish are especially important to see there in Massachusetts. You also see in New Jersey and New York pockets of Italian and Irish, which is a big portion of the immigrants that are going to come over during this time period that we're speaking of. So the question is, why are immigrants going to leave? There's something called the push factors and the pull factors. Go ahead and write this down. The push factors are things such as economic, political, and religious obstacles that are pushing immigrants away from their own countries, especially from Southern Europe and Eastern Europe. And as you can see with the picture right here, a lot of Jews are going to be pushed out of their countries and come to America. You also have Italians and Greeks and Polish, a lot of different immigrant groups. But you have those push factors that are pushing the immigrants away from their country. But the question could be, why America? Why are they coming to America? Why aren't they going to any other country? And there you get the pull factors. The pull factors are bringing these immigrants to America. You have such things as family descriptions, businesses, land, opportunities. This sense of freedom is really bringing people to America. There was a Steven Spielberg film that was created called An American Tale, which was a picture of immigration from the old world to the new world, but it was depicted through mice, through animals. And so this whole idea of leaving the old world and coming to the new. I want to show you a quick clip here from the film An American Tale.
Do with you? You stay closer to home. Don't you go running off.
Mama!
Ah, so we returned.
We saw some fish.
Fish. Lucky you didn't see some cats.
Cats! Gato, cats!
Cats! I didn't see any cats.
Won't it be nice to get to America where we don't have to worry about cats anymore? There are no cats in America. But back home in Mother Russia, our family was traveling through the snow to Minsk. Suddenly, Papa saw those huge paw prints. When I heard him screaming, I fainted dead away. And I woke up an orphan.
But
There are no cats in America, and the streets are paved with cheese. Oh, there are no cats in America, so set your mind at ease.
Non sa la cosa terribile che esiste nella patria mia. You think things were bad in Russia? You should see things in my country. Times were hard in Sicily. We had no provolone. The Don, he was a tabby with a taste for my brother Tony. When Mama went to plead for him, the Don said he would see her. We found her rosary on the ground. Poor Mama. mamma mia. But
There are no cats in America, and the streets are paved with cheese. Oh, there are no cats in America, so set your mind at ease.
That's sad, but sadder still. When I was but a lad, I lost my true love fair. A calico, he caught us by surprise. In a flash of teeth and fur, her tail was all he left of her. 'Neath the heather is where it Turalura lies.
But there are no cats in America, and the streets are paved with cheese. Oh, there are no cats in America, 'cause there are no mice in America, 'cause there are no mice in America, 'cause there are no mice in America. That's why we
So as we saw with that excellent little tune there, the example of family descriptions is bringing the immigrants to America. A lot of times you'll have these immigrants that will write home to their moms telling them, you know, that they are the king of the world, just totally, America's a great place and everything, and moms will take this as a sign that they should send their children. And so there's going to be a lot of family members that are going to be shipped overseas to America because of these family descriptions. And there comes the term chain migration. You're going to need to write this down. You're going to need to know this for the test. Chain migration. And that's the migrations of entire villages that's going to happen, whether it's Italians, whether it's Sicilians, whether it's Irish, whether it's Polish, whether it's Jewish. You're going to have entire villages that are going to come from their homeland all the way to America for a new life. You even see this happening today. In San Diego, you have a big Sudanese population that have settled in places like Lemon Grove and other parts of San Diego. And oftentimes they will provide their family members with jobs and with a place to stay. And so you have this chain migration that happens where one person comes over and then consistently more and more come over. As you can see with this graph right here, about 100 years ago, the main group that are going to be coming from to America is going to be Eastern European, also a lot of Southern European. So now we're going to get to some specific groups, and the question is, why do each of these groups come to America? European groups in general are going to consist of people from Italy, people from Ireland, people from Germany. And these people groups are mainly coming over to find work due to growing rural populations. There's going to be a lot of less land owned by the elite, but not by the poor. There's going to be a lot of tenant farmers. The Irish especially are coming over here because they're renting from the elite in Ireland, and so they're going to come to America for their own land. So to find work in the growing rural populations in their own homeland. You also have the Jewish Russians, the Russian Jews. They're coming over because of the pogroms. Now these pogroms are the violent attack on the Jews. And this is also characterized in the cartoon, An American Tale.
Hear you? How could they hear us?
You see? Direct contact! Direct contact!
America, there are no cats.
This is where the Jews will be violently attacked in Russia because of their culture. So they'll come to America for opportunity and for freedom and for their own safety. Another people group you have right here are going to be the Chinese. And as you remember, the Chinese are going to come over because of the railroad and the gold mines here in the West Coast. But you're also going to have some Japanese that are going to come over, and that's because of a lot of land shortage in their own country, as Japan is a island. There's only so many resources and so much land, so they're going to come to America for in search of land. You're also going to have some southern immigrants that are going to come from Mexico due to opportunities with ranches and cotton farms here in San Diego and the Southwest as a whole that the Mexicans are going to take advantage of. Embarking, there's going to be 13.5 million immigrants from the Civil War to the time period that we're discussing. Most of them are going to ride on something that's called steerage. Now, steerage is basically third class. It cost an immigrant generally their life savings. Though steerage was very cheap, to an immigrant it was very costly. It was often dirty and uncomfortable. If you've seen the film The Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio, known as Jack in the film, he is staying at the bottom of the boat, the bottom of the ship, the Titanic, and that's considered steerage versus high class like Rose in the film. Generally, it took 8 to 14 days to travel in steerage on this boat over to America. The place in the boat was there was oftentimes not a lot of windows. Steerage, oftentimes the ceilings were very low. One toilet for 1,000 passengers, so a lot of disease like smallpox and typhoid and scurvy spread really rapidly. Scurvy is that vitamin C deficiency that happens when you're at sea and when you have the sun beating down on you and the current of the water. A lot of times if you don't have vitamin C, you can develop scurvy. So a lot of problems are happening here on steerage as the immigrants are coming to America. As you can see right here, this island, many of you guys know this island, it's called Ellis Island, and this would become the main processing point for immigrants in New York.
America.
No, New York.
Name?
Smovolodny Dromovichki.
Okay, Mr. Smith.
Emily Mauskowitz. How many?
5. Oh, I mean 4.
Okay, next.
Very important site there for immigrants to be processed through. We'll later see a video, short video on Ellis Island itself that will describe what it was like on Ellis Island. Immigrants maintaining their culture. There's going to be different ways that the immigrants are going to try to maintain their traditions. One of the ways is through churches and synagogues, through churches for especially the Catholic immigrants coming from Ireland and Italy, but also for the Jewish immigrants. The synagogues are going to be an important spot for them to really maintain their culture, whether it's their language, whether it's their values. That's going to become very important as they assimilate into American way of life. The function as a recreational facility and gathering place for community leaders as we can see right here. The Jews especially, they are going to provide a lot of housing, jobs, burials, support for the sick and their elderly. So the Jewish communities are going to maintain much of their culture. And that's actually going to be quite an amazing thing when they may get back their homeland in 1948. This idea that they're able to still have their culture and their traditions is quite amazing. Also, you have supplementing associational life. Like I mentioned, the Jews have done a fantastic job with maintaining their culture. A lot of ethnic newspapers, theaters, schools are going to maintain culture. Also, you have Chinatowns are an excellent example of this. We're going to have whole communities that are going to embrace their community, their nationality. So you're going to have people that are living in these cities, in these areas that only speak Chinese or only speak Yiddish, which is Jewish, or only speak Italian. And so they're really going to focus on themselves and protect themselves and be there for each other. This is the end of the notes. What I want you to do is to review through your notes, put the big ideas on the left-hand side of the notes. Also create a one-sentence summary at the end. It is important for you to do this for full points on the notes. So make sure to do this and to prepare for that quiz. Thank you for watching.